Hello, I'm Vikki Conley. I'm a children's author, and my message from me to you today is all about Booktopia's World Book Day celebration. So firstly, I'm going to tell you about a book that I love. This book is one of my favourites. It's called My Two Blankets by Irina, Cobalt and Freya Blackwood. It has beautiful illustrations. Freya is one of my favourite illustrators. And this story is very relevant at the moment. It's all about a little girl called Cartwheel who leaves a country that is in war and she arrives in a new country. She feels very alone and she feels quite frightened because she doesn't know the language. But she meets a friend, and that friend helps her learn the language one word at a time through making little paper origami. It's a wonderful book and I recommend it for ages 4 through to 7. It's also a great discussion book for classrooms. It's got lots of good topics about friendship and inclusion, and also has lots of wonderful symbolic imagery. I also need to tell you about another favourite. This is The Magic Faraway Tree, and I grew up with this book and I absolutely adore it because it was the first book that absolutely unlocked my imagination. I thought, wow, imagine climbing to the top of a tree, and I climbed a lot of trees because I grew up on a farm. Imagine climbing to the top of the tree and seeing a different world every day. A world with lollies in it, a world with toys in it. So I love this book. It's got wonderful characters and it's an absolute old classic by Enid Blyton. Still relevant today. I recommend that you read this one with your children. It's such a delightful, darling book to read with your children. Probably when I think our children were maybe grade 3 when we read it with them. So it's a great bedtime story and it's something that my father read to me. And what am I reading right now? Well, I'm reading a big adult book called The Signature of All Things. And this is a wonderful book about the early botanical explorers. And it's also got some extraordinary themes about independent women in the early 1800s. And the setting and the intricate detail about plants is fascinating. It's something that I love reading about. It also touches on themes of love and family dynamics, power and women's rights. Really great read. I'm about that far through and still enjoy it. The other book I'm reading is a children's book called Swimming Against the Storm by Jess, Butterworth. And this has great themes of, again, sisters and adventure, if you like exploring. Also set in a sort of a jungle setting and seaside setting, and in the future where tropical storms are frequent and the tides have risen so high that all the houses are on stilts. So it's a really interesting insight into what our world might look like if we don't take environmental issues very seriously. But great for ages sort of grade 3 upwards, grade 4, even up to grade 6, independent readers. Really well written and great figurative language if you're wanting to use it in a classroom. So I totally recommend this one as well. And all of these books are available on Booktopia. My reading rituals centre around bedtime, where I try and get half an hour or an hour sometimes before I go to sleep, reading in bed. I also like to listen to audiobooks quite a bit, and I listen to these with my headphones, sometimes when I'm shopping, pushing the supermarket trolley, sometimes when I'm cooking and there's no one else in the house, I can put my headphones on and listen to my story, and sometimes even in the car I've got a lot of driving to do. That way I get through more books if I can listen to it as audio as well as the written form. And sometimes I switch between the two. I might have the hard copy book and I read a little bit of that, and then I flick ahead when I'm listening to them on the headphones. The other place I love to read is on my couch in the sunshine with my little cat. I also like to have a book on the kitchen table, so if I get a little opportunity between lunch or breakfast, I might read a few pages here or there. I also love that my children see me reading, so that inspires them to do reading too, and there's often one of their books on the kitchen table too, so sometimes I'm flicking through their books and sometimes they read some of my books. And what have I got coming up for me? Well, I've got 3 new books that are coming out this year, and look out for one called Where the Lyrebird Lives. So if you love bird life and you love going on adventures with your family, check out Where the Lyrebird Lives later this year on Booktopia from Windy Hollow Publications. Written by myself, Vikki Conley, and illustrated by Max Hamilton. Thank you. Happy reading!